Thanks so much for joining us here on Local Decision 2024 as Election Day is coming up. I'm Eric Nelson here on North Metro TV. And joining us in studio, Barbara Mahr, running for Lexington City Council. Barbara, we appreciate your time, and let the viewers know a little bit about yourself and why you're running for office and what would be a third stint on the Lexington City Council if you're elected.
It would. So I've lived in Lexington since 1978. Raised our children there. They're both graduated, gone from the house. I'm working part-time right now, and I just feel that the development in Lexington and the increase in population, that there are some more things we might be able to do as a city to focus on that growth and development.
How much different is Lexington now than, say, the first time you were on the council in the 90s and even the second time, about 10, 15 years later?
We're landlocked, so there's
Right.
not a lot of difference there. Businesses have changed in the Northway Center. We used to have a department store there and a hardware store. And then things changed again through COVID again, of course. But we're trying to make it a thriving business community, I think. More land has been developed in the recent years with new apartment buildings, both market rate and affordable housing. So that's changed a little bit the diversity of our city and the number of people there. So,
What experiences have you had that you think prepare you to go back onto the council and help Lexington grow?
I think that I'm more aware of resources out there, and I want to work with the staff to explore those things available to a city our size, because I think there should be some things that can help us from a fiscal standpoint to kind of try to hold the line on our property taxes. When you don't have any more land to grow, there aren't a lot of other resources for the increasing costs of government.
So Lexington, this little dot on the map in the Twin Cities metro, but there's a lot of good things there. What would you single out as, the positives of Lexington?
I think neighbors help each other. I think that it's a great location as far as getting to anything you want to do in the Twin Cities. We are a corridor, so it's hard because a lot of people just drive right through. And I think we have to figure out ways to maybe encourage people to stop and, take a look at our businesses and support them. So,
yeah, I was going to ask you. So, if you're a drive-by, what would you do to make people stop and check Lexington out, and hopefully, in your case, come back?
Well, I haven't exactly figured that out yet. But I think that there are people who do it. I think that we could be more active in social media. As a city, kind of try to get someone trained or someone with those skill sets. Just perhaps events. I'm not sure exactly.
And that's certainly got to be one part of the job if you go back to the council, the whole social media, promoting the city in cyberspace. That didn't exist when you first started, did it?
No.
And now it's a big deal for a city, right? You got to be on Facebook. You got to be on X and
it's
Snapchat,
helpful, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good, yeah.
Yeah. What other things would you like to see improved in the city of Lexington?
Well, we have a water issue. Everybody knows that it's going on with Blaine, and I hope that as we go to the table for that something mutual beneficial can be figured out to improve our water quality and to make sure that we have accessibility for our citizens. I'd also like to see some kind of effort to bring fiber optics to our residents. So I think that City Hall has it. I'm not sure, because I think there was an initiative by the state to bring it to local government and schools. But in Lexington, we don't have a lot of options for other service. It kind of depends whose line is there and what you get.
Is it important for Lexington, because you are a small town, to get on the map even more, be more visual, recognized by people in the Twin Cities?
I don't know if that's necessarily a goal of mine. I want to get the people who live there engaged in the community, and I don't think we have a lot of that because people are happy with the things,
Right.
Aside from property tax, they're probably happy with the way things are. So,
How about the budget? Everybody has an opinion on budget and your
stuff.
priorities. Yeah.
Our biggest cost is public safety. It always has been, probably always will be in a city our size. And so the acting mayor, Gary, has negotiated a formula change in the police funding that will bring down some of our costs for that. But we also need to look at what's out there through federal and state resources and county resources of what there might be out there to help us with that budgeting picture and the water and the whole thing. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, isn't there? I mean,
Yes.
And how could you get help from the county, say, or the state? Would that be grants or?
Well, Lexington's a member of the League of Minnesota Cities, and with that membership comes access to various programs. The Anoka County has a business development program, both for small businesses, individuals, and to work with cities for development. So I think some of those things need to be explored more so that we have more opportunities.
How do you like to spend your time in Lexington?
I ride my bike. We don't have a library, but I go to the library over at Circle Pines. So I just kind of just in my neighborhood.
Parks and trails, I mean, if you're out bike riding, I assume you like to be on the trails.
I do. It would be nice if we could actually put some trails in, because most of the trail in the city of Lexington is on the street. If you want to connect to other trails in that. But it's a very expensive endeavor, so we'll have to see.
Do you think Lexington needs more parks?
I think that Lexington could, I don't know if we need more parks from a land mass, but I think that Memorial Park, which is the biggest park and well known for baseball and softball tournaments, I think that they have done a lot of improvements in the last 5 years, but I think that there's some more that could be done there.
Are you out door knocking? Or is it a grassroots campaign?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm not door knocking yet, so.
What do you think you'll hear when you visit?
Taxes are too high.
Yeah, of course. And how do you respond to that?
We're a small city. We have to follow all of the federal government regulations that big cities do, and so it's overwhelming. Like the cost of a comprehensive plan when we're landlocked and we don't have any growth, to me seems there should be some type of adjustment or exception to those kind of updates that cost very expensive money from consultants, but there aren't. And so, like I said, we have to look at resources to help with those things that are required by governments that really maybe don't apply to us so much, but they still have to be completed and they cost money.
Are there other small towns in Minnesota or even around the U.S. that you could hold up as a blueprint for how Lexington would like to do business?
You know, that's a very good question. I think it's something I'll be looking into. I was actually trying to find out some more information about Lilydale, which is another very small place that's surrounded by big suburbs. So
yeah.
Maybe we'll find something there.
And when you say landlocked, so you can't really expand the footprint, can you?
No. Blaine is on 3 sides and Circle Pines is on another side. So,
if you get elected again, what would be some of your priorities on the council?
Well, first off is just trying to hold the expenses down. The property taxes. Nobody wants a city portion. I mean, you have all the other portions that don't have to do with the city, but the only thing we're in charge of is the city portion. And so how to find funding or relief or revenue sources that might be able to help with that. But you have to have healthy businesses to do that. So, and the water quality, the water issue, getting that solved. Those are probably the 2 biggest concerns right now.
And where are we on the water debate?
Well, I'm not on the council right now, so from what I've seen reported, it's going to go to a court case, so I don't know. I don't have enough information about it, but I'm not on the council right now.
Is there an ideal outcome from the Lexington perspective?
Well, I think the ideal outcome would be to, cooperation with Blaine, because that's who we're interconnected with, and just find a way to satisfy whatever requirements they think that we need to have, because in the past we've given them water, they've given us water, and there's apparently issues with our water tower, but I don't know what they are. So,
all right, tell the viewers this is your chance to, tell them why they should vote for you on Election Day.
Well, I think that I can bring past experience and some already learned knowledge of requirements of local government. It's kind of a maze in Minnesota, the state and federal requirements for small cities, but there are resources, and I just hope to bring more of those resources to our city so that we can keep control of that city portion of the budget. So,
yeah, and do you think you would be a different council person if you're reelected for the third time?
Well, I'm older now, so I'm probably a little wiser. I probably have a little more patience than I did when I was younger. So,
all that wisdom.
I don't know.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right. She's Barbara Mahr, running for City Council in Lexington. This is Local Decision 2024.